Alright, so we're out here on beautiful Yates Lake in Alabama. Nice foggy day, November the 25th. Slide my hat cap on here. Got the AnglR app queued up, ready to start. Fishing trip started. Alright, here we go. Alright, it's an absolutely beautiful fall day. Late fall, early winter. Great day to throw a spinnerbait or a chatterbait. My first AnglR Expert article was on chatterbaits, so I'm gonna rig one of those up and see if we can't get bit on a chatterbait today. It's a great day for it, so we'll see. Z-Man chatterbait custom out here. I think I got one opened up already. Yeah. I'm gonna go with a Missile Baits Shockwave for the trailer this morning. I'm not gonna use super glue here because it's got a good bait keeper. You just rig it up like so. Now you use a trailer hook, like I talked about in the article. These actually have a big enough eye you can usually go ahead and just slide them right on without having to open them up. But to keep it from coming off, then you need some kind of trailer hook keeper. That's what I use. This is actually like surgical tubing, I think. Something my dad found. I just put it in my mouth to get it a little lubricated there to go on here a little easier. You slide that over the barb. And now there's almost no way that hook could come off, but it can still spin freely. So if one gets hung on just a trailer hook, he doesn't have a lot of leverage on you. It's still loose. Let's tie that on. I just use a standard old knot. I'm not even sure what it's called. I've been tying it since I was like 10, but go through the eye twice, making a nice loop. And then you got two loops once you start twisting it. Come back through both of those loops, back through the loop you just made. Cinch it down. Cut off your tag. Now we're ready to go fishing. There's one. Little guy. Come on. It'll bite right quick though. It's only been probably 15 minutes. Like he had a trailer hook, but he lost it too. And the app here. Just gonna put in lost a small keeper. That way I'll know I had a bite at least. What's cool, I don't have the bullseye button yet from AnglR. I got it ordered, but apparently with that you can put it on your hat or on a lanyard or wherever you want to put it, and it's about the size of a $50, and you can push that button and it'll log your waypoint, all the weather conditions and everything without even pulling the phone out of your pocket. And then, you know, at the end of the day, you can go back in and put in notes, or while you're idling out of a spot or something, you go put in notes. But that way, it's kind of a nearly hands-free. You got to push a button, but it's pretty convenient. So I'm looking forward to getting that in. But right now, I just want to go ahead and get out here and kind of give the AnglR app a little test. See how it does. There's one. Dang, come off again. Short striking for some reason, even with a trailer hook. Both my points are sharp. Huh. I was hightailing it down this bank. It's kind of deep. Well, let's get the app out. Mark us another. That was a keeper probably. Another bite, but what's going to be cool about this app is I can go in and say on my notes, lost second keeper. Not sure why, but maybe something will tell me throughout the day. Huh, interesting. Just got to slow down. Give them time to get the bait. Both those fish bit it kind of slow, kind of low already. The boat was moving fast on that last one, but since I threw ahead of the boat, the bait was actually kind of moving slower. So I was catching up to it with the boat. So both those fish seemed to have been about 4 or 5 feet below the surface, kind of slow. So I really need to slow down. Maybe I'll let them get it a little better. Interesting. I don't lose a lot of fish on a chatterbait. It's kind of weird. That's why I like it so much. It's compact. They can come up and get it without having to, you know, like a spinnerbait. If you think about it, the fish should be swinging at the blades a lot of times. So if they're trying to get the blades and the hook and everything, it's kind of hard to get all that in their mouth. But for some reason, I can't get them to swallow a chatterbait, which is more in line. Maybe the big one will choke it in a minute. The watercolor is getting a little bit more stain, which is good. This is one of my favorite colors. I don't even know what it's called. I have to get the box out, but it's got some blue, some chartreuse, and they're kind of translucent, so they're not real hard, bright colors, and it's got like a translucent salt and pepper type pearl color. It works real good in all color waters. I mean, if it's real clear, I'd go with something a little bit more natural, but even in this water, you can see down 2 feet in this water, and it's still stained enough for this color because it's got so much kind of natural glow to it. But it works really well even in pretty muddy water. I mean, I fish really muddy water. If I was gonna go super muddy, I'd probably go with something a little bit more hard white or chartreuse and white pearl, you know. But and about 70% of the water I'd fish a chatterbait in. This right here is a really good color when you're mimicking shad. Felt like one might have hit it right there at the end of that tree. Maybe not. Maybe it had some trash on there. We'll see. Yep, got her. That's a good one too. That's a good one. Oh yeah, that was pretty. Trying to get around the trolling motor. Oh, she got it very good here. That just was fired up. Staying just far enough out of reach. I might have done flipped her. Let's see. There we go. That's a good one. That fish actually missed it the first time. Come back and got it. Hung her in the tongue. Get a picture. I'll drop these poles. You stick with this chatterbait long enough and see what hooked her? That trailer hook. That's why I say you need to throw a trailer hook right there. Because otherwise, she might not have got a hook. About a 3.5, 4 pounder. Let's see what we got. 380, 388. That's a pretty good one. I'm gonna put her in a live well for a little while. Maybe take some more pictures here in a little while. It's a good one. Alright, so now let's go into the app Mark that one. Largemouth. I think it was 3.88. Didn't do a length tackle. Do the ChatterBait. We'll do the tackle later since I don't have service with them in there. On the notes, missed on first cast. Threw back in, and she ate it. Caught only on trailer hook. Save. Do a photo. Gallery. I think that's a good one. Let's see. Let's go with one a little bit further off. Let's see. Probably tell more about it with that one. Alright. We got the ChatterBait color in there too. Let's get back to fishing. Alright. I don't know why they're missing it. I mean, they're just not committing. Like those other two kind of barely got it and lost it, them little ones. And on that good one I missed her at the first cast. Threw back in there and she bit it, so kind of weird, but at least she got it that second time. You notice a lot of times I put a lot of action in my ChatterBait, spinnerbait, square bill, but when I'm coming down a log like this, I'm going to keep that joker pretty much straight up and down, continuously moving to where it doesn't roll over and hook. And, I mean, there's a bunch of sticky stuff in there. Chatterbaits are pretty notorious for getting hung, so I never, hardly ever, will I throw perpendicular to a piece of cover. I want to try to parallel it, get right up against it. And you stay in the strike zone longer that way, but it's also less of a chance of you getting hung than it will be if you're coming at a tree from a 90-degree angle. You just, a lot of times your bait will hang it a lot worse. So I try to parallel it and keep it upright for the most part, all the way down through there to where it doesn't roll over and get hung as easily. All right, there's a couple of logs here. I'm just gonna get the boat in pretty good position. I'm gonna drop the poles where I can make a couple of casts. A lot of times once the water starts getting a little colder, it'll take repetitive casts to get bit. So it's good to sit in the same spot. You never want to ignore little isolated pieces of cover like that. A lot of times I'll be holding one. Well, the trip's done. It's my first time out with the AnglR app. It's pretty neat. I'm going to give a full review on it later and actually do another review once I get the bullseye button in from AnglR. But had a good little trip. Caught one pretty good one. Tough lake, you know. Don't catch a lot of fish in this lake, but usually catch a pretty good one, so I was happy to do that. Good little ChatterBait fish. I'm going to get her up. I'll let her go right quick.